All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday live. Uh, don't really have a whole lot to talk about today. Just wanted to get in here and just see what conversation comes up and see if anybody has any questions or anything they want to chat about. I do apologize for missing last week's live. Just wasn't able to make it happen with work, which is what it is. It's just part of the life of all of us working for a living. So, anyhow, and the fact that I decided to do this as a noon deal. So, I'm basically using my lunch break. So, if my lunch break doesn't permit, then I can't do it. So, anyway, just wanted to give a couple of updates. And if nobody jumps in here, then this is going to be a short live and it will just get posted as a video to the channel. But I do hope everybody's ready for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or trying to think whatever holiday you celebrate. I personally am a Christian and celebrate Christmas, so I hope that you're having happy, merry Christmas holidays, all of that good stuff, whichever one it is, and hope you got all your gifts bought and all of that good stuff. So anyway, hopefully you've got lots of good plans with family coming up. I know that Braxton and Kylie will be coming over on Christmas Day. Of course, Dayton and Caden are still at home, so they'll certainly be there Christmas Day. We don't have any special extravagant plans, just getting together and hanging out with family. So that is definitely our plan. The other thing that I wanted to kind of just briefly talk about, since nobody's, I see a couple of people have joined in, but no comments. Make sure and hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know you're here. But the other thing I want to talk about is anybody that is south of, I don't even know if it's just necessarily south, but I definitely know like the Midwest and the Southeast, kind of that whole region, basically all through Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas. Gosh, any of those places, even going up into Illinois and Iowa and stuff, are getting an Arctic blast. It's supposed to hit Oklahoma tomorrow morning is when we're supposed to really get hammered with it. And I've heard different people say different things all the way down to like 10, 15 below zero. I don't know that we're going to end up 10, 15 below zero. That's just extremely rare for Oklahoma, but anything's possible. So if you watched my last video, you know that we've got some. Oh, hi, babe. Thanks for joining. Michelle is here. So, Michelle, looks like it's possibly you and me right now. But if you did watch my last video, you know we put a blanket on Boss to help him kind of weather the cold. And you also know that we scored some hay, which is always nice. And fortunately, the guy that we got that hay from has twice as much again as what we bought. So we'll be able to go back. I think he'll have enough hay to support us for the entire winter. So anyway, always gonna be me and you, babe. That's right. Always gonna be me and you, babe. So what else can I talk about? What else is going on? I will give you kind of the update. That's what I usually do on these lives, is what the update is. First of all, I just don't know if Sophie's pregnant or not. I don't know. Time will tell, obviously. I just don't know, though. But future plans, actually, Michelle and I were just talking about this just a few minutes ago, right before I actually went live. Still a lot of work going on the house, trying to get Michelle's favorite view of the house is every video that has that Lowe's wrap on that end of the house. So gotta work on getting rid of that. That is definitely on the list. We were just talking about getting that resolved. So need to get that taken care of. There's quite a few different things to take care of on the house. We've got flooring that needs to be sanded and finished, but we have all the flooring down. So good stuff there. As far as the animals are concerned, we've actually been looking for a new plan on the chickens. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be any cost savings to go buy a building. I think we're just going to end up having to build a new chicken coop and get them moved a little bit further out. They're so close to the house, so we have a bad fly problem. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you for joining. Just talking about the farm and the plans that we have. So planning on getting the chicken coop farther away from the house just to try to help with some of the flies. And I don't mean flies around the house. I mean flies in the house. Between the horses and the goats and the chickens, we battle the flies pretty regularly, which anybody that has animals does. It's nothing special to us. But so we definitely are in the works of trying to figure out the next best location as well as coop for the chickens. Got about 25 birds right now, and they're on the verge of not having enough space in that coop. So time to fix that, because I know spring is coming, and I know what happens every year in the spring, and that is that we end up with like 20 more chickens. And so I'm trying to build to accommodate that. Life with Blenda and Chuck. Hello. How are you? Is this Chuck or do I have Blenda? Well, this would be Chuck because Blenda has her own account now. I forgot about that. So how's it going, Chuck? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Just talking about farm plans. Also, once we get the chickens figured out, we've got to figure out something long-term for the goats. Trying to figure out a way to get a pen that I can separate them and kind of have like a bro pen and then a doe pen. Be the bro pen and the doe pen. I don't know, try to find somebody to hang out with Rowdy, maybe get him like a little weather buck or something as a pen mate. But I've heard several people tell me that separating them will help with Sophie, cycling properly and all that, so that Rowdy would be interested in making little goat babies. And that is important to me because that's reason number 2 why I have goats. Reason number 1 was, well, give me a set to show you out. Prepare yourself for the masses that will flood the live. I am all for that, Chuck. Thank you very much. I'll take all the masses of flooding that I can get. Reason number 1 that I got the goats was to clear that fence line that they're on, and they've done pretty much all they're going to do there. The rest is up to me and a chainsaw. Reason number 2 was to make babies and sell them. Kind of farming, ranching 101, I guess you could say. Anyhow, so I did mention briefly in that last video too that we were going to take Boss to the vet and do a dental workup on him. I didn't actually say in the video what we were going to do, but that is the plan, is to go get Boss to the vet, and they're going to do a full dental workup on him. Hopefully there's no need for any extractions or anything else like that, but the price wasn't bad at all. And just one more thing to try to help him out at his age. He kind of needs all the help he can get. And I'll be honest with you, I've had different people tell me different things. I've had everything from the person that says that, you took on an old horse, so just get ready for it. It's going to cost you money, and that's what you have to do, all the way to the other person that's like, try to PC this up as much as I can. But basically, I've had people say that horse is at the end of its life. You might as well end it, basically. That's not my plan. It's not anything like that. But I've been told all the different things I should do with the horse, and I think Michelle and I kind of agree that the approach we're going to take is to do everything we can to make his life as good as we can for as long as we can. And when the vet reaches a point and says he's suffering at this point, or he's not going to get any better, he can't put on any weight, he's not healthy, enough to live anymore, then we'll make the decision at that point if he needs to be put down. But right now, there are times when he shows a lot of youth, I guess I could say, where he's jumping and running and so no reason whatsoever to rush any kind of stuff like that. So anyway, what else? Dandy, as always, is healthy and obnoxious and overly bossy when it's feeding time. And so a lot of times, if I'm feeding them anything other than just their free choice hay right now, if I put any grain or if I put alfalfa out, I have to basically stand there with them and watch him, because he will push boss away and eat all his food as well. So that's always fun. It's always a lot of fun, especially when it's really cold outside. And between these two horses, when it's time for them to eat, it can take them up to 30 minutes sometimes to eat. So, yeah, if you don't have anything better to do with your time, get horses. That's definitely what you should do. Everybody needs to just go out and get horses, and don't get young horses. Get old horses that are cantankerous and need lots of care at the vet and constant attention because they're old. That's what you got. You all got this extreme cold. No, I was actually just talking about that a little bit ago, Chuck. It's supposed to hit us. It's like 35, 40 here right now, which is really normal. I'll pop the weather app up real quick on my phone. 35 or 40, I believe, maybe even getting close up to 50 today. It's 42 right now. It's supposed to hit sometime tonight or first thing in the morning, and they're talking negative temps and blowing snow and all this. And who knows? I know we've done everything we can as far as trying to secure everybody up. I did stop by the feed store on the way into work this morning and got a couple more bags of the wood shavings to throw out for the goats as well as the chickens, just to give them some more bedding. I don't worry about them, the goats or the chickens, either one. Honestly, the only one I'm worried about is Boss, just because he's just gets to you by tomorrow night. It seems like, if I'm thinking right, it's like it's coming down out of Canada and kind of moving south and east, if that's right. I believe you're a little bit northeast of me, Chuck, if I remember right. So that would seem about right, the way these storms line up and kind of move like this. So, yeah, to us tomorrow morning, you by tomorrow night, that sounds about right. I'm worried about Boss a little bit. I'm not worried about him. Not worried about him to the South Mississippi. Yeah, no, I don't know why I was thinking north and east. Yeah, south and east of me. So, yeah, that would make perfect sense then tomorrow evening. Worry about Boss, though, with this cold, because he just doesn't have that. He has a great thick coat. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't have that extra layer of fat and everything else. That's why I've got him a blanket. So, I don't know. We'll see. The guy that I got the hay from is also he's 70-year-old rodeo cowboy and raised horses his whole life and still rodeos at almost 70 years old. I think he's 68 or 69. And he said, I've had horses my whole life. He's going to be just fine. He said, put a blanket on him. And as long as they got a windbreak and a shelter to get out of that wind, he said, the wind is the biggest thing. It's not the snow. It's going to bother them. It's not. He said, none of that's going to matter. It's the wind. Get it. As long as they got a place to get out of the wind, they'll be just fine. And we got that covered. So he seems to think that I'm worrying for no reason. But I've also never had horses of my own. I've had horses in my family and friends with horses and things of that sort. But I've never had my own horses that were mine to care for. And although I tend to be, kind of tongue in cheek about a lot of stuff, I care about my animals, and I don't like the idea of, am I not prepared? Am I prepared? Did I do enough? Did I not do enough? I don't know. It's hopefully it's not going to be terrible, but we'll see. We shall see. There's nothing I can do at this point to really change anything. Can't go out in the pasture and build a fire for him or anything. He'd run from it anyway. Wouldn't know what to do with that. So anyway, South Mississippi. How's everything going in South Mississippi other than the fact that it's about to get ridiculously cold? Trying to think, this year coming up, I was actually supposed to start traveling again already in January, but now it's looking like that's not going to happen. I was supposed to go the week of January 9th and be back up in Washington, and that is not going to happen now. Just bring the horse inside. It will be fine in your living room. Michelle won't mind. Chuck, have you you've seen some of the videos of my wife in them, right? You do realize that there's a Christmas video that I keep telling everybody that I'm going to make, and it hasn't come out yet because the inside of the house isn't to Michelle's liking. So I don't think Michelle would let the house go. Now, I could bring the horse into the garage if I had to. You know, if we just really got if it got to that point, I'd be shoving stuff out of the garage, and we'd bring all the animals into the garage if I had to. But I feel like we've got good enough shelter for all of them at this point that I don't think that's going to be necessary. I did just think of one thing on the goats. I realized that their pen is facing east, and I need to turn that, and probably would be best to go ahead and turn them to be facing due south so that it can block that north wind that is supposed to be pretty bad. I've seen you. I said I'd be pushing stuff out, Chuck. I didn't say I'd bring them in like it was. If I brought them in like the garage was, they'd wake up in the morning and all their legs would be broke. The goats, the horses, the chickens would be fine because they'd just find somewhere in the garage to go sit and poop all over everything. But other than that, I would have to clean the garage out. Thanks. Always. I knew when I put that in a video, I thought, boy, this is gonna bite me. And it was the first thing that Michelle said in that video. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Why would you show anybody your garage?" I'm like, "Why would I hide any? You know, you're gonna put stuff on YouTube. It is what it is. That's what my garage looks like." And by the way, it doesn't look any better at all. In fact, probably worse. But and I don't know if I've even talked to anybody about any of this. Dayton's dirt bike, which has been in the background of several videos, has been broken for a long time. And that was one of the reasons why there wasn't a whole lot getting moved around in the garage, because we literally had the whole internals of parts of the engine and everything taken apart and laying in the floor. So I wanted to leave it all there and whatever. Anyway, last night we put it all back together. In fact, that's who's texting me on my phone right now, telling me how it's all going since he got it started and is outside riding it and everything. So not that anybody comes to my channel for dirt bike updates, but that's a garage update, meaning we're going to be able to start trying to clean up the garage. And I have to clean up the garage some because I've got to finish that kitchen at my in-laws' house. And the only way to do that during this time of year is to get my table saw back into the garage, into a usable place to where I can work inside there, shut the door down, and turn some heat on. So that is the plan for that. Actually, I just got a new cross-cutting sled / fence for my table saw so that I can finish those doors that I made. So may show a little bit of that in a video coming up. What else? What else? Any questions? Any comments? Is anybody on here getting that cold yet? That's what I want to know. I know, Chuck, you said it's going to be sometime tomorrow by the time it got to you. I know at Michelle's work, out there at the cemetery, one of the guys said, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to come to work on Thursday." This was like 2 days ago. He said, if anything, I might show up and then tuck tail and run back home. And I thought, well, and Michelle was like, "Am I missing something?" I said, "Yeah, it's supposed to be like 10 below on Thursday." She's, "Oh, yeah." Yeah, a guy that I follow on YouTube, woodworker guy. His name's the Wood Whisperer. I'm sure some of you guys probably know that channel. Maybe not. I don't know. He did a review video probably within the last couple of months of 10 different crosscut sled / fences. And the problem that I was having is, of course, I've just got your standard like job site style table saw, which if used properly, you could do a ton with it. But the problem I was having is that these doors, once I glued the panels up for the doors, they were too big for me to be able to set on the crosscut sled that I had, and whatever. Anyway, Chuck, I know you know what I'm talking about because you're familiar with the table saw and all that. I couldn't get the doors on there and keep them straight because my crosscut sled wouldn't come far enough out in any direction. And that's one of the things about this sled that I bought, is that was one of the things that he said in the video, was that the legs on it that go into the grooves on the top of the table saw were longer, and then it has a fence on the end that extends. It was maybe 20 something inches, 28 inches or something like that. So I'll be able to actually put these doors on here and run them through there and get nice clean edges on all sides. So anyway, that's been a lot of what my delay has been on these doors, is just not having a big enough setup with the table saw to get clean cuts. I tried to kind of freehand cut them, and if you've ever freehand cut anything on a table saw, you know it doesn't work. So anyway, got that. I'll be working on that before too long. I thought about just wrapping that up and putting it under the tree, and that could be my Christmas present. I'm waiting for Michelle to respond to that because there's no telling what she would say. I've had quite the early Christmas this year between hunting season. And I don't know if I showed it or not, but I did get I got 2 new, let's call them deer hunting devices. One of them, those jigs are definitely worth it. Yeah, I think it's the only way I'm going to be able to get those doors done. One of the new devices that I got uses a powder charge, if you know what I'm saying. Not the old school style either. It's nice, new 270. Beautiful, long, you guys get what I'm saying. And then also got one of the crossbow. I think you can say that on YouTube. I don't think that's an issue. So anyhow, got that. I think I've been told Merry Christmas like for about 4 months now. So I don't get any more. That's why that was the joke. That's why I'm waiting on Michelle to say something. Oh, here we go. Michelle has entered the chat. Procedure gifts for Christmas, birthday, and our anniversary. Yeah, our anniversary is next year. That doesn't count. My birthday's already passed, so that doesn't count either. I still need a safe. I can't say that because she was trying to buy a safe the other day, and I was like, don't you do it. Don't you buy that safe. So I don't have a safe because you're not ahead. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to just be ahead. Tell her you're going to bring the horse in. When she complains, just say, okay, guess I'll just have to get a new jig for the table saw. She'll be so happy the horse isn't coming. Problem solved, right? Hello and Merry Christmas, Dirt Road Destiny Homestead. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Glad to have you. We're just in here talking about nothing. Literally talking about table saw jigs for all who are interested in that. So I'm gonna get a drink of water and think about my Christmas, birthday, and anniversary gifts. I'll go ahead and throw myself under the bus and tell you that I haven't bought my wife anything for Christmas yet. I tried to the other day and she wouldn't let me. Yes, please. We welcome any and all marital advice, Chuck has given out some stellar marital advice at this. I need to think about it. That's what I just said. I haven't got anything yet. But see, now in my defense, I'm about to throw a link up here and have Michelle join in the chat so she can just tell y'all herself, because she makes me look like I'm like the bad guy over here. I've asked her. I've even given her some ideas, and I have some things written down in my phone. But gonna roll yourself up in wrapping paper. The best gift you ever got. Crawfish boil, not. Dirt Road Destiny, can you just throw it out there as to exactly where this crawfish boil is going to be? I will invite myself, as wrong as that may sound. Golly. I do have, so any ideas? What should I get Michelle for Christmas? Let me look. I've got a list on my phone that I was saving. See if I can find it. Oh wow! I'm not gonna say anything. Told you guys about the house. I told you guys about the house. That's all I want. Redo the bathroom. So you want a bathroom? Now, which bathroom are we talking about? Our bathroom or the main bathroom in the house? I was hoping other people would give some ideas, and then it could be like, oh yeah, I can go buy one of those, not have to work all year to give you your Christmas present. Because technically, if I was giving you the Christmas, if I was giving you a Christmas present for this year, it would need to be done already, and it's not. All bathrooms. Yes, thanks, Chuck. You're not helping me any. You're not helping me at all. Actually, the plan is eventually, if all these kids would just get out of my house. I'm kidding. If you don't know me, I'm very sarcastic. Okay, so if you've never watched any of my videos or whatever, just I'm not trying to kick my kids out of the house. Listen to Chuck. Oh Lord, what did I start now? Need new tools to do all these projects. That is very true, Chuck. Hello, Lori. Thanks for joining in. We're in the middle of a nice marital discussion here about Christmas, and Chuck's giving out free marital advice, and I mean, all is well right now. I'm trying to see if anybody has any ideas on what I should get Michelle for Christmas. She's in the chat too, so she'll see the ideas. But whatever she asks you to do. Okay, Rebecca, listen. I know all you guys are taking Michelle's side, and just whatever Michelle wants, that's what everybody should do. That's why that's why the house is finished. But to buy new tools for every project, there's any money to do the actual work. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. Okay, maybe it's a little bit true. It's not true. My tools aren't that expensive. I mean, that's why I have a job site table saw instead of some nice big saw stop cabinet. Well, it's not a deep down marital discussion. Not one of those types. More of the I'm on your side, Josh, just trying to be. I appreciate that, Chuck. I appreciate that. I think Michelle might be kind of starting to see through our plan here that we're trying to work on me getting more tools. And here's what needs to happen, Chuck. This is where I need your help. Perhaps any of you in the chat could help us with this. We've reached a point during this remodeling process on the house where I don't have room for all the tools anymore, i.e. the garage that we talked about a little bit earlier. And what I really need as the next step to the whole remodel of this property is a barn slash shop slash place to put all my tools and the dirt bikes and that kind of stuff, to clear out the garage to give room to, have kind of like a staging area for working on the house. See, that's really what I need next. If you guys could help me out on just convincing Michelle of the importance of that, that would be great. That would be really great. It would be much appreciated. And you guys would all be the benefactors of some great video content of my new barn. Every time I would feed the animals, I would be in my new barn, and you would get to see it on YouTube. So go ahead. Nobody's helping me fight this battle. Okay. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll have a barn out there. It is on the list of things that we need. What else? What could I get Michelle for Christmas? Getting a new barn too for goat stalls and turkey. And that's I do need some goat stalls. I need horse stalls. I need goat stalls. And here's the thing. Actually, the horses were 100% Michelle's doing. So, horses need a barn. I mean, it's an understood rule of the world. Great idea. Build a new barn shop before you redo the bathroom. Hide those new deer hunting devices from Michelle before you do, though. Yeah. That's why I need a safe, and then I could just not give her the code to the safe, and then I don't have to worry about it. Any of y'all going to the meetup MT Homestead is hosting? Get Michelle a cat, a pup, and a goat. First of all, let me unpack this, Lori. What meetup is it, and where is it at? I didn't know MT Homestead was doing a meetup, but I'm way behind on everything that everybody's doing. I usually see their stuff on Facebook when they do something. Maybe they announced it in a video that I haven't seen yet. But is it down kind of at their place towards the McAllister area? Isn't that where they're at? They're kind of out towards McAllister, I think. Yeah, because he works out there at the depot. He's talked about that a whole bunch on his channel. My parents have 6 horses, cutting horses for cattle farm. I love horses. So the older horse, we've got 2 horses, and they are pasture pets. I mean, they are pasture pets. So on Facebook and the community, I don't know how I missed it on Facebook. I was just looking at their page on Facebook this morning. I must have missed it somehow. Anyway, I will definitely check that out. One of the horses that we got, the old one, Boss, that's got the blanket on now, and that I'm worried about in the cold and everything, was an old. He's a quarter horse, retired ranch horse, 27 years old, and the other one is a Tennessee walking horse that has not done anything but be spoiled rotten his entire life in a pasture. He's got horribly bad habits when it comes to feeding time and everything else, which is, I know the people that have had him, and they've had him since he was a colt. He's gelding now, 17 years old, and he has really bad habits. He's very pushy. He'll get all up in your business, and then he startles over nothing. You'd be sitting there brushing him, and I was doing this just the other day with brushing him right up around the head. And no noise, no nothing different from what I'd been doing. And all of a sudden he jerked his head up and took off running and got about 15 feet away from me and just turned around and was looking at me. And it was kind of like, then add a horse to that previous list. Cat, a pup, and a goat. She already has a pup, and she already has a goat, and she already has a horse. So technically, are you telling me I need to double up on all this stuff, Lori? She doesn't have a cat. We can't keep cats at our house, by the way. March or May, yeah, down that way. Okay. I'm all for going to that meetup, especially meetups that are close like that. Definitely. So, by the way, too, Dirt Road Destiny, what's your name? I don't know that I've ever seen your channel before. And if you're cool with sharing your name, you already have gun. You can't say that word on YouTube. Now they're going to pull my video down. They're not going to pull the video down, but cutting horses are impressive, by the way. That's where I was going with that. My name is Destiny. All right, Destiny. Awesome. Well, I do appreciate you coming in here. I'm going to check out your channel. I better write that down because I know me and I'll forget. But I'm going to check that out afterwards too. There you go. Devices. Thank you. So, okay, sorry. I can't write and talk at the same time. I'm still waiting on Michelle to put actual achievable Christmas gifts in the list here instead of entire house remodel stuff. So thank you, Chuck, for sharing the link there. I appreciate that. Sorry, I get caught up reading this stuff. Poultry farm channel may be boring. Your channel's not boring, I promise you. Everybody has a different that's what's so interesting about it, especially in the homestead community. Everybody's layout of their farm is different. Everybody's animals are different. Their approaches to how they take care of their animals are all different. And, it's not, of course, every one of us has a different personality too. So how you film your videos and what your content is and everything is certainly a different component for everybody too. So I don't find very many channels boring. I find certain channels that I may watch more than others, but I don't find very many of them boring because there's so much different stuff. I learned so much stuff. So if you've got a poultry farm and your parents have calves and cutting horses, I guarantee I would be interested and be probably learning stuff. It's just, I drive my wife crazy with YouTube. She's not near the YouTube connoisseur that I am. So when you say small poultry farm, what are we talking? Because I've heard people say small poultry farm and they've got 400 chickens or something, So, I don't actually, according to my agricultural permit with the state of Oklahoma, I have a small poultry farm too. All 25 of my chickens that don't lay anything currently. My small poultry farm that is an egg producing farm that's not producing eggs. So yeah, got that going on, which is fantastic. Breeding. Right now I'm breeding quail, ducks. Holy cow. Quail, ducks, chicken, and soon turkey, raising some for meat and some for egg layers. Yeah, see, I don't find that boring. I've never ate quail. I hear people all the time talk about how great they are. I've never. Expensive breed rare chickens for Christmas. Good idea from Dirk. Hey, Destiny, do you have any hatching eggs available of some rare breed chickens? Because Michelle does need expensive rare chickens. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lori is on point with that one. Let me tell you, you are speaking Michelle's language. She is obsessed with her chickens, and that's not an exaggeration either. I don't put it in the videos a lot because a lot of times Michelle's getting more and more to where she likes to be on video. I think after we went to when we went to the Shoot Dang Fest and kind of we met some people in person, and it kind of put the reality stamp on YouTube, if you will. I know that kind of sounds weird, but it seems so disconnected until you start to meet some of the people. And then once we did that, she was like, okay, I kind of enjoy this. We should do this more often. And now she's like, she wants to do it more often. But when she comes home from work in the evenings, of course, right now, by the time she gets home from work, it's dark. And a lot of times on the weekends, she's gone doing other things while I'm shooting the videos and different things. So haven't got her into videos lately, but she's definitely obsessed with her chickens. Goes out and talks to them all the time. Right now, she's not been talking very nice to them because they're not laying her eggs. And so she gives them a little stern talking to most evenings. But she definitely does. She definitely does enjoy her chickens. Cassie Walker Farm Family out hatched a couple of death layer eggs. Only 2 hatched right now. I have no idea if a hen or a root. So, trying to get my flock bigger for my kids' petting zoo on her birthday. That would be cool. Whole town is coming. So that would be. I don't have enough animals to create a petting zoo. I guess. I mean, if you wanted 2 goats, 2 horses, and a bunch of chickens, but they can build a new coop on the side of the new barn shop for the rare breed chickens after getting that is Chuck. Man, coming out with the good stuff. Earlier this year, I hatched a couple of, how do you say that word? Leg fighters. I don't even. I've never heard of that breed of chicken before. Nor I was going to ask you. Very familiar with Walker Farm Fan, but I've never heard of death layers. This, you have my attention. This sounds interesting. I need to know more about. Oh, Lee. It's just Lee. Okay, so Lee fighters. Why do they call them fighters? Are they like a heritage breed that was that was used for league? This is like me trying to text and having autocorrect on my phone, just constantly correcting everything. This is how my text messages look to my wife. They're huge, tall. I've never heard of these. I understand. Oh gosh, that's funny. Um, I've never heard of them. I've never heard of death layers either. This is interesting to me. Do they have any videos on? Again, I'm way behind on everybody's content, so I apologize because I know we all come on here on YouTube and want everybody to watch our stuff. Go check the videos out. Okay, that's what I was just getting ready to ask you. I do watch quite a bit. I'm not going to say I watch all of their videos. I just don't. I don't have time usually, but I do watch quite a bit of the Walker Farm Fam stuff, and I'm going to have to go dig for those because I want to see what these chickens are. Fighters, death layers. I'm intrigued as well. See, here you go. See, so Lori, you need to start selling hatching eggs apparently, because none of us know what you're talking about, which means that they are indeed rare breed chickens, and that is where the money's at. So, how much, if you were selling, or if I were trying to buy, how much would one have to pay for hatching eggs for either one of those breeds of chickens? And are they called the fighters because they used to be like used in cockfights, or is it something that it's just one of those weird names and that's what they are? Sorry, I gotta hope. We will when we can. New version right now. I'm all for it. If you get, I don't know, more than likely uses fighters. It's a game bird, death layers or not. Okay, interesting. I mean, those are the kind of chickens that Michelle is very interested in. By the way, just um, since we're talking about, hang on, looking at a video. Since we're talking about Christmas gifts for Michelle, ancient Roman armies used them in their battles against the barbarians, hence Roman legions. Okay, interesting. And the unfortunate aspect of somebody like Chuck, who's always joking around, I don't know if I'm believing him right now and he's actually looking this up online, or if the wittiness of Chuck is just coming out and he's just typing stuff in. So, uh, good stuff. Good stuff for sure. Man, I don't know. Maybe Michelle left because she's gotten awful quiet in the chat. Maybe she doesn't know about all these rare chickens that we're talking about here. Um, I mean, we're going on 45 minutes now, and I told myself I wasn't going to have another long live, and here I am, 45 minutes in. But still got lunchtime. Still got lunchtime. Look up Walker Farm. Rare death layer chicks are gone. That's awesome. Go with your gut on whether you believe anything I type. My favorite chicken breed is white leghorn. They are reliable layers. My only problem with the leghorns is those are some of the flightiest birds, and they're fast. And I have a tendency to have chickens that don't come back to me, and then when I go to try to catch them, I'm still terrible. I'm terrible at catching chickens. I am probably one of the worst chicken catchers you'll ever meet. Everybody in the family laughs at me because I go outside. I just can't catch anything. I run around. In fact, I've got one video when I was taking one of those roosters to Jen and Wiley over at Altruistic Farmstead, and I couldn't catch that rooster. I was so mad by the end of that video. I have two of the white leghorns. They are mean to my other chickens. They are kind of bully chickens, but they do lay. They lay really well. But man, if they ever get out and you got to catch them, you might as well just forget about it. Wait till they come home. Some of the flight, those, and then I've got these other two that I don't even know what they are because I do such a great job of keeping records of what I buy when I buy chicks that these grew up and they're black and white and they're super pretty, and they are equally, if not more, flighty than the leghorns. In that video, you'll see both the death layer chicks and I still don't know how to say it. League fighters. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out because I don't know which one of the ones that you put in there that kept getting corrected. I don't know which one of those was right, if any of them were, because you said you were giving up. So, oh, that's funny. They lay really well. They do. They do lay really well. Right now, I have an entire flock of chickens that don't lay really well. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but I basically have 25. You watch Walker Farm, you know how to say it. Isa Brown chickens are great. Now, I have had some Isa Browns in the past, and they were fantastic. I have some older, like Cinnamon Queen or Isa Brown, kind of that same style of chicken. I have some older ones of those. All of my young ones, I don't even know what half of them are. I've got some buff Brahmas. I've got some yeah. I don't know what I've got. I've got a mottled Houdan that I had a breeding pair, and the rooster got killed by another mean rooster. I don't remember what other kinds I have. I'm terrible at keeping track of this stuff. Smoky pearl chickens are awesome. Hard to find. That's what I'm breeding now. If all else fails, get Michelle an ostrich. Lori, I want an ostrich. Where can I get an ostrich? I'm telling you right now, I would. Now, I've never priced an ostrich. I should probably not say what I was about to say. Oh, heck, I'm going to say it anyway. I'd buy an ostrich today if I could find one. Surely Michelle's not watching now, or she would have commented already. I'd buy an ostrich in a heartbeat. I could drive down to Texas and go to the I'm a Survivor Sanctuary and get an ostrich from there. See, so an ostrich or an emu, like what they have over on Cog Hill, I'd take either one. I think the ostriches are kind of mean, and I surely don't have the fencing set up for ostriches either. I can't even keep chickens in, much less an ostrich. Twisted Bee Mini. What is that? People have emus all over here where I'm from. They attack. I've heard people say that they're kind of mean too. I haven't. I have no experience with them. No experience with emus at all. So, Destiny, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to share if you don't want to, but you say over here where I'm from, roughly where is that? I'm in Oklahoma, so I kind of like to see if I can figure out where people are at. Just you don't have to give your address or anything. Just state that you're in or whatever. Like Chuck, he's in Wisconsin, and I think Lori's over in Arkansas. Is that right? What does that say? Missouri. Awesome. People out there. Land of the weird. Been to Missouri a lot. I can't say it's. I can't confirm or deny on Land of the Weird. Twisted B Mini has Ostrich Annie as a channel, but also friends with Brandon and Steph with Eddie Family Farm. Twisted B is in Oklahoma. Awesome. Oh gosh, I know where you're at, Lori. You're in your new undisclosed location, so I was trying to keep it private for you. Yeah, Chuck, I put you in Wisconsin now, so good luck. It's cold up there, by the way. Missouri is weird because one day it's hot, one day it's cold. That is true of like this whole region right now. It seems like I don't know if you were talking about the people were weird or what. So Twisted B Mini, that's another one I'm going to write down. I didn't know they were in Oklahoma. I've never heard of them. Twisted B Mini. And clearly Michelle is not in here because she has said nothing about the ostrich or the emu. So there's definitely no way that she is in here. Chuck, if you'd prefer somewhere other than Wisconsin, I can move you to wherever. I have that liberty right now, simply because as they say, I have the microphone. So if there's somewhere other than Wisconsin, like maybe you want to move to Mississippi. Maybe you want to move to Hawaii. Yeah. Hawaii's rough. That's a difficult move, Chuck. But if you want to, breaking news, everyone. Belinda and Chuck are now in Hawaii. Reach out to Brandon via email and ask him about her. I will do that. I will definitely do that. Eddie Family Farm. I didn't write that one down. Lori. Oh, that's funny. Chuck wants to go for the winter. I think Lori's out. She says Hawaii's liberal. Oh gosh, that's hilarious. It's hilarious because so many people won't just say it. I'm sorry, that just made me laugh. It is very liberal. There are a lot of places outside of just checking to see if you'd repeat that. Oh, I'll repeat it. One of the reasons why I still live in Oklahoma, as much as even Oklahoma has changed over the years, I've traveled all over this country so many different times, and it just for what I personally believe and my personal feelings, Oklahoma's still good. Have you guys seen those mini Highland cows? My neighbor wants me to buy some. My wife would absolutely throw a fit if I came home with any form of a Highland cow, whether mini or full size, doesn't matter. Eddie Family Farm used to be rustic wood. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm so behind on everything. This year has been terrible. This year has been terrible for me with regards to YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember the video that I put out where I was going to reach 1,000 subscribers in 6 months. If any of you guys saw that, we can all laugh together because here we are over a year later, and I'm still at 250. That's how my year went with YouTube. So haven't seen a mini Highland cow. So Chuck, if you can imagine a Highland cow, but smaller. You're welcome. Oh gosh. Oh man. Yeah. It's like every time I get on here, I say I'm not going to do a long live, and then people get in here and we start chatting, and it turns into a lot of fun. And then I'm like, oh man, I got to end the live. Oh man, I said I was going to do a short live. That clears it up. Do they have them in Hawaii? Well, they will when you get there and you bring one with you. I think cows may be too much on my feed bill. Depends on how much pasture you have. If you've got enough grass, you could have grass-fed Highland coos, as is sometimes thrown around on some channels. What Adler Farms, Walker Farm. That's what's so frustrating right now is feed costs going up and the hay costs going up. That's why, first of all, I'm not a clickbait kind of guy. The title to my last video, when I said I stole a bunch of hay, I don't feel like that's not clickbait. If I'm buying square bales of hay at $7 a bale, I stole it. So I've got 3 acre pasture. I'm right there with you. And 2 horses on 3 acres of pasture I can put the goats with the horses because the goats will eat down some of the more brushy stuff the horses won't eat. But I mean, my pastures are already tapped out just with 2 horses. So I totally understand. And that's why I get into this thing where I'm constantly buying hay or I'm constantly having to throw feed. And I don't like to throw grain out to animals that really don't. I mean, they're not made to eat grain. Goats, horses, cows, none of them were really made to live on grain. So I try to keep it as natural as I can. But, hay has gotten so expensive now too that even feeding them just hay is outrageously expensive. So thinking about trying to hit up a family member of mine. We've got some family land that I don't think anybody's baling hay off of. I may see if they'll let me hire somebody to bale it, and then I can have that for next year. But who knows? Who knows? It may not happen. So anyway, I am getting towards the end of my lunch hour. Unfortunately, as much fun as this turned into right here in the last 10 minutes with, did you write down to watch Walker Farm? I see. Rare death layer chicks are gone. I appreciate the reminder because I didn't write it down. I just got to talking. Video Walker Farm. Okay, there we go. Don't hire anyone. Buy you a new tractor. And it was, Chuck, I like the way you think. I like where your head's at. You're in a good place, Chuck. I appreciate all of your assistance. It's very, very helpful. Thank you guys for all joining in. It was a lot of fun. I will definitely be back next Wednesday, work permitting. And with the holidays there, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't. So anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. Good to meet you, Destiny. First time I've ever seen you in here. I'm going to go check out your channel. And Chuck, Lori, Rebecca, everybody else, thanks for jumping in. And we will see everybody next week. Bye. Oh, back in time to say bye, no ostrich. What about an emu? I got to go, really. I got to get – well, I got 2 minutes, Michelle. Emu? No emu? No, she said no ostrich. She didn't say no barn and tractor implements for baling hay. No, that's all I'm getting now is no. Okay, I got to go. Bye, y'all.